Motive, if you could call it that, is robbery. The victim was carrying a small amount of cash which is missing.
This'll do.
Oh, pour us a cup, love. You all right, Colin?
Right, yeah.
Seen much of your family since you've been out?
See me sister. I think the dog was more pleased to see me than anyone else. Except Ron, of course. Yeah, Mum.
Love. What about work? Hey, can't our Ron get you a job on his site? Labouring or something?
Don't worry about me, Mrs. Bull. I'm tossing around a few ideas. Something will turn up.
Gotta go now, Mum.
Oh, what about your breakfast?
Sorry, Mum. Get some snap later. Bit of business to do. Mum, you have any sticky tape, have you?
Oh, there's some in that brown box under the stairs.
So.
An expert in ballistics, Steve Nicklin, examined a cartridge case found at the scene of the crime and the bullets that killed Colin Grindley.
Now, this is one of our comparison weapons. Muffs on, please, gentlemen. Right, take a look at the mark on the base of the cartridge.
What's the point?
In most weapons, the firing pin strikes the center of the base of the cartridge, which ignites the propellant, thus powering the bullet.
But it's on the edge on this cartridge.
Exactly, just as it was on the one we found at the scene of the crime. You'll note that the mark is circular and not wedge-shaped.
So what are we looking for?
One of these. An American-made bolt-action Model 1904 .22 Savage rifle.
Indomitable spirit out of Arrow Swift and Lightning Strike, Inspector Hardy. Winner in a class in North Road Championship. If she keeps up her form, I'll be entering her for Barcelona Cup.
Well, a testament to Rona's hard work and training, Bob. Who is her Rona?
Oh, that were a bit below the belt, Inspector. Where's satisfaction if it's not your own bird that wins, but one you've pinched? Mind you, it's a science, Mr. Doxy. Breeding winners to her class. And I tell you, don't come cheap.
You know the form. If it checks out, you'll be paid.
Ron Bull, Colin Wardle. Bull, he's a little bloke with a big gun, you know the type.
And Wardle?
Well, you'll know him all right. Temperature drops when he walks in room. Worked as a grave digger once. Loved his job. Bit too much. Him and Bull. Might be worth a look.
Thanks, Bob.
Public spirited. Besides, you lot sniffing around. It's bad for business.
Ron Bull? Detective Inspector Hardy. I'd like a word.
Colin Wardle? No. The Archangel Gabriel. What do you want?
To bring you down to earth. Come on, you know the form.
Bit of planning, that's all.
Because of their past records, Ron Bull and Colin Wardle were held on remand while the investigation continued. Both refused to answer any questions.
See? No weapon, no witness. What have they got? Nothing. We're gonna walk. And you know why? Because we had the balls to pull it off the way we did.
What if he'd had his wife and kids in the car with him?
Like I said, you have to have the balls to do what's necessary. Casualties of war, mate.
Casualties of war.
Drive carefully.
Come on, Sally. Kiss, kiss. Kiss, kiss.
Bye-bye to Daddy. Bye-bye.
Casualties of war. Well, 4 marks, Ron. Sounds like you got away with it.
Planning. That's what it's all about. You don't take risks, that way you get caught. No, you pick a dead cert. In, out and away.
Aye, but you got to get rid of the gear, ain't you? For the gun and that.
Done it. Coppers are going mad looking for it. The joke is, the gun, it's right under their noses. It's only 20 minutes from my mum's.
Go on, Ash, go! Elliot, Tony, make a noise,
First weekend leave, Mark. Thought you'd be boozing with your mates. Didn't have you down as the family man.
Ah, well, it surprised me, Mr. Doxy. Still, I got very little else, ain't I? Look, I want you to know, I'm not a grass, right, and I'll not be making an habit of this.
What have you got to say, Mark?
This Grinley, he was straight, wasn't he? I mean, he weren't at it.
Family man, just like you, Mark.
When I was on remand, I were kennelled up with Ron Bull, right? And we got to talking. And he says as how he'd never find the gun because he did it so well. Thought it was a right joke he did.
Where, Mark?
Well, he didn't exactly give me a bloody map reference, did he? He didn't say exactly where. He said it was 20 minutes walk from his mum's, under a bush on a stream bed.
Dad, come play.
You all right? Come on! Yeah!
Detective Superintendent Doxy allowed no margin for error. He ordered a search of all open ground within 40 minutes of Bull's home. In every direction.
Sir!
It's the gun that killed Colin Grinsley. I've test-fired it. The marks are the same, and so are the grooves on the bullet left by the rifling of the barrel.
Well, it's the gun that killed Colin Grinley. Doesn't mean to say it's their gun.
Bull told his cellmate where it'd be. What else do you want?
No prints, obviously. Defence will say he manufactured the confession to implicate Bull and Wardle as a favour to a pal, the real killer. You told him where the gun was hidden.
Then you're saying unless we get someone that puts their fingers on the trigger, they'll walk.
The gun is bound with this. If you could find the reel it came from, I don't know, might be something.
These, hairs. What are they?
Not human. Canine, I'd say.
Look, he lives his life, I live mine. I'm his sister. I'm not his keeper.
I know, love. What do they say? You can choose your friends, not your relations. It's just a few questions, background stuff. Won't take a minute.
I'll make a pot of tea.
Lovely. Good girl.
Sugar?
Washing me weight, love.
Jill, have a look down there.
You'll be putting everything back where you found it, will you?
Pete, you and George, when you finish in here, do the garden.
The garden?
Mrs. Bull, if your son had been murdered, I suspect you'd want us to be every bit as thorough as we are being now.
Sir?
I'm afraid I could find no matching ends between the adhesive tape used to package the murder weapon and the tape seized at Mrs. Bull's.